Priced in? What happened to priced out? Welcome to the Mike Martins channel. Mike Martins here. And yeah, people are in SlaveLandia and they can't afford to escape. What is going on with this great GTA or Greater Toronto Area brain drain? You got the Vancouver brain drain. You got the Sydney brain drain. You got the Melbourne brain drain. London brain drain. Man, Ireland there. Dublin brain drain. California brain drain. Everybody is leaving the major cities. But there's some people that are priced in. They can't get out. They can't afford to get out. What will happen? So let's look at a couple of brain drain articles here. Priced in. Not everybody could afford to leave the GTA as cost of living soars, advocates say. Minimum wage workers juggle jobs, face long commutes, and continually look for better housing. Ka-ching! That's what it's all about, the almighty dollar. A castle in the sky will set you back in Toronto. 5 to 600,000 for a one-bedroom, 7 to 800,000 for a two-bedroom. Oh, actually a little bit less now. It's the condo market's been crashing there like crazy. For Christine, the high cost of living in Greater Toronto Area means juggling 4 part-time jobs. It means one long bus ride after another, borrowing money from her parents when she doesn't have enough, and living cramped basement apartment in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Christine, 45, a single woman whose last name is being withheld to protect her employment, says minimum wage increase to $14 in January 2018 improved her life, but still her day is long. So here it is, guys. Let's get to the point here. Honestly, nothing can get cut because I'm down to bare bones. I don't have TV or anything like that. She told CBC Radio's Metro Morning, I don't have any entertainment. Imagine 4 part-times or 2 full-time jobs and you can't even have a T-friggin-V? TV stands for television, for those that don't know. Are you out of your tree? People in the 80s, in the early 80s, would be looking at this like, oh, come on, 2 full-time jobs and she can't have a TV. Give me a break. I got 2 TVs in my house. Wood, with the satin wood finish on them. And a huge tube, and they weigh 50, 75, 80 pounds. What is she talking about? Well, it's talking sense, and that's what's been happening here. Let's move on. Watch this one. Toronto police struggles as increasing number of officers leaving for other services. What other services? So this is from May 2018, but this is still happening. An increased number of Toronto officers are fleeing to the suburbs, a challenge the police chief attributes to the city's high cost of living, and one the union blames on morale. So right now is police officers are fleeing to the suburbs, but the suburbs are still too expensive and still out of reach for a police officer. A police officer's wage, we're talking $1 million homes, detached homes, $1 million bucks. Well, you don't make enough for that, especially with the amount you get taxed. So a lot of them are moving to suburbs and getting, I guess, suited up in new uniforms. You know? It says here, between 2008 and 2017, the Toronto Police Services lost 271 uniform officers. And 265 of them are constables to other services. That's just what they're telling us. Majority of renters seriously considering leaving the GTA due to high cost of housing, says poll. 59% of renters say they are seriously considering leaving the Greater Toronto Area due to their high cost of owning a home. New polls. Angus Reid Institute online survey, which sampled 831 GTA residents, found a total of 47% residents were seriously thinking of leaving the GTA due to housing prices. I've been talking about videos that go back 4 or 5 years. Leave Sydney. Leave Toronto. No, not Toronto yet, because Toronto, the foreign buyers tax wasn't in Vancouver yet. Once that hit, the foreign buyers went to Vancouver. To Toronto from Vancouver, sorry, and Seattle. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's really, really, really interesting now. So I'm lucky, okay? I left Vancouver, and I moved to the city of Merritt, and I paid $260 for my house. Now it's valued at I think it's valued right now $344. So, I don't care if it goes down to $1 or if it goes to zero value. People are going to tell me in the comments, oh, Mike, it's going to crash. I don't care. I want to raise my family and have kids, so that's what I'm about. when it comes to housing. Housing is a base to make money, a base to set up shop and make money and work, do your thing, right? So that's that. People are trapped in SlaveLandia and they're having a hard time getting out. Poor little rich city, how much longer can Toronto afford austerity? Well, again, Toronto under the microscope. By the time John Tory's mayoral term ends in 2022, Toronto will have endured 12 straight years of austerity. That's almost half the generation being told we're poor. No wonder it's starting to show. So you guys see what's happening in Greece right now. You see what's happening in France. You see what's happening in the UK and pretty much all of Europe. And people living poor, below the poverty level. And it doesn't matter. Even if you make $70,000 a year, if you can't have a television, something's wrong mathematically somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But the truth tells us otherwise. Toronto is the only Canadian city to make the list of 15 richest metropolises on the planet, according to South African market research firm, the New World Wealth, with number 13. The total amount of private wealth in Toronto is $944 billion. That's in US dollars. But you never know it. Our schools are falling apart. Transit is 30 years behind where it should be. The homeless have been abandoned, and social housing is a mess. The only thing we have to boast about is that Toronto property taxes are the lowest in the GTA. But they're getting more expensive because they're going to have to start funding these government programs, right? Prepare yourselves for a city tax. You're going to have a government sales tax, okay, federal. Then you're going to have a provincial sales tax for your province, and then you might have a Toronto sales tax or GTA sales tax. So people leaving Toronto to go shopping somewhere else will still be hit if they're in the GTA. Watch out, maybe 2-3% headed your way. For many, including the mayor of this and his political allies, that's enough. Thank you very much. After all, once the snow is plowed, the potholes are filled, and the garbage is collected, what remains to be done? A lot, it seems. The problem is with all the wealth is that it's concentrated into fewer and fewer hands, and for the most part, they pay far less in taxes than ever before. So that's what's happening. The city is rigged for failure. Toronto. So Vancouver's having the entire opposite. What brain drain? More young professionals moving to Vancouver than leaving, analyst says. So we'll leave that for another one, because I actually have a couple of coinciding articles for that one. But I wanted to talk about the Toronto brain drain. The amount of people that are just throwing themselves in the grinder, overworking themselves, exhausting their bodies just to say they live in Toronto in some basement. Yeah, and then now people are stuck in SlaveLandia right now because they can't afford to move. I'm lucky 2-3 years ago I got out of Vancouver. I knew where it was going to head, and I knew it was going to crash. And people are saying, Mike, but what if the market crashes? Yeah, but I paid $260 for my house. I didn't pay $2 million, and I have so many bedrooms. I have a gym in my house, a full gym with mirrors. You know? So, I don't know, guys. It's very, I think it's peculiar how everything's coming together now at the right time, you know? But everything's being blamed on Trump. Anything that happens in Iceland is blamed on Trump nowadays. But someone's going to have to pay the piper, and it's not going to be good. Because if the party's coming to an end, and what's going to happen? They're just going to have to raise taxes. Vancouver, smartest thing they ever did. Property taxes go down, everyone's assessment came high, and they raised property taxes on top of that. And the amount of companies that are closing and stuff, because I covered this on a video a few videos ago. We talked about this. Oh, the city can't cover its expenses. What do? Raise taxes! It's not going to help. It's going to make things worse because it's going to drive business and potential future business. People looking to potentially own a business or something, or potentially use the city for its great population that's dwindling right now of white and blue collar workers that spend and pay taxes are leaving. It's going to be really interesting to see where things head on the horizon. I'm really interested, guys, to see what's going to happen. I really feel for a lot of these people that are caught in this, that don't own, that are in this predicament where they, like, what do we do? Everything's so super expensive. Bank raises interest rates. Mortgage payments go up. Guess what? Landlords raise the rents because they're going to have to cover. No one's going to want to be in a negative position, and that's what's been happening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for hitting me up in the tip jar. It's me, Mike Martins, your housing discussion guru, and thank you very much.